morning. Today, before we begin our flow, I would like to show you another breathing practice, breathing exercise that I really enjoy. It's not one that I use during the asana, during the poses, but I do often use this breath at the beginning or the end of class during our beginning or ending meditation. It's a really nice way to feel where your breath is going, and breathing, intentional breathing, is one form of meditation that really helps you get out of your head and into your body, stop worrying about all of those things that are so concerning in the world, and just focus on what's going on inside of you, things that you can control, as opposed to what's outside of your body, which you're not able to control. So this breath is called the 3 parts breath. And the idea is to intentionally fill up first your belly with breath, and then your ribs, feeling your ribs come out to the sides, and then the chest area. And this is just in one single breath. So sometimes it's nice to start by bringing one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly, and just focusing on one of those at a time. So taking a deep breath in and just filling up the belly as much as you can. And then on your second breath, you're going to feel that in the rib cage. Take a deep breath in and feel your ribs coming out to the sides. And on the third breath, up into the chest area. Deep breath in, feel your chest rising. But the 3 parts breath is actually putting all 3 of those together. And with one single breath, you fill up the belly, the ribs, and the heart. Big breath in. And as you exhale, empty out the other way. The heart, the ribs, and then the belly. Maybe do that just a couple more times. With each breath, filling up each area, one at a time. Intentionally sending that breath to all the different parts where you can send it. And then emptying out one at a time, nice and slow. So I don't know about you guys, but I have definitely been feeling a heightened level of anxiety in these uncertain times we're living in. And I find that those moments throughout the day when I read a particularly disturbing bit of news, or my children are being particularly difficult because we're always together 24/7, that if I just turn to those breathing practices, the 3 parts breath or the mountain breath, sometimes even just the Ujjayi breath, the ocean sounding breath, the yoga breath that we find at the beginning of each class, and just take a moment, walk away from whatever it is I'm thinking about, and take a moment to really focus on the breath. It just helps me ground myself and stop thinking about whatever it is that's giving me anxiety at that moment. So hopefully these practices can also help you guys get through this difficult time. Today, we are going to start on our backs. You can take any comfortable laying down position you choose. If for some reason it's not comfortable to lay on your back, you can also start on your belly, or you can also just sit in a seat and take some quiet meditation time to bring your focus into your body. Shavasana, laying down on your back. You can have your legs straight out. You can also bring the soles of the feet together, or just bring your legs into easy pose. And the last option that I really like is to open up your feet kind of as wide as the mat. Let your knees fall in towards each other, and then bring a block right underneath your lower back. It's a little bit of a restorative back bend there, right where your waistband sits. Just let yourself sink into the ground. Close your eyes. And listen to your breath here. If you like, you can bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. Try the 3 parts breath. Just focusing on where that breath is going inside of your body. If it feels like it's a sort of a strained thing, you can't send the breath to those areas, that's okay too. Just start to notice where you do feel your breath. Begin lengthening, deepening each breath. Try to slow your breath down. Nice, gradual breaths. So today my nose is a little stuffed up, and it's going to be hard for me to find the Ujjayi breath because I can't really keep my lips closed. But if you're not feeling stuffed up today, you can start to look for that Ujjayi breath. That means victorious in Sanskrit, victorious breathing. Constrict your throat just a little bit so that you can hear your breath in the back of your head, sounding like the ocean, moving in and out. Nice, calm, rhythmic sound. Let the sound of your breath fill your mind completely, clearing away all other thoughts of the outside world and bringing your attention fully into your body, here and now, at this moment, between the 4 corners of your mat. Start to do your body scan, working your way from the crown of your head through each body part, one at a time. Just bringing your attention and noticing how you feel today. Bring your awareness into your face. Notice how your brow is feeling. A little spot right in between your eyebrows. And then down into your jaw, to the back of the neck. Moving through the shoulders, and down through the arms, to your elbows, wrists, and fingers. And then down the spine, all the way to your hips, and through your legs, knees, ankles, and toes. As you go through, just make a note of anything that feels off today. any tender spots, sore spots. Remind yourself of any injuries you have, big or little, old or new. Anything that might affect your abilities to come into a pose today. Remember that we each have our own unique history within our bodies, and our own unique genetic code, and that the most important thing in yoga is to meet your body where it is at this moment, here and now. Not worrying about what you could do last week or last year, not worrying about what anybody else can do or how you look in a certain pose. And just feeling it being inside of your body. Take a few more deep, full breaths here. Blink your eyes open. If you have a block underneath your back, you can just slide that block out. Draw your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your legs. Take a big breath in here. Exhale, lifting your forehead up to your knees. Curl into a tight little ball, squeezing everything together. Release your head back down to the mat. Find your kneecaps with your hands. And do some circles in the sky with the knees. Give your lower back a little bit of a massage on the ground. And find circles going the opposite direction. Release your knees. Drop your feet down to the mat. Coming into a bridge pose, knees pointing straight up to the sky. Bring your hands up overhead. Let's come into 3 bridge poses with the breath. Inhale, rooting down through the feet. Lift your hips up, pushing the hips up towards the sky. Exhale, release back down to the mat. 1 vertebrae at a time, nice and slow. 2 more times with the breath. Inhaling to lift. And exhale, releasing 1 vertebrae at a time. Last one, inhale. So you're really strong in the legs. Push the belly up. Exhale, coming back down to the mat with control. Lift your feet up on the mat, off the mat. Tuck your fingers inside the creases of both knees. And rock and roll along your spine a few times. Forward and back. And make your way into easy pose. Kind of like sitting cross-legged. If it's accessible to you, you can open up your knees and your feet so that both feet are touching the ground with nothing overlapping. Inhale, lifting your hands up overhead. Exhale, folding forward over the feet. Stretch your fingers out in front of you. Relax your forehead down towards the ground. Once you find your edge, you can round down through the back. Don't worry about how far you get down here. Just listen to your body. Let it tell you where that edge is. On your next breath in, walk your hands back, lifting up your chest. Bring your hands to your lap and do some gentle circles with the neck. These can be big or small, faster or slower, whatever feels right. And find circles going the other way. They feel really different going in this second direction. Sometimes that's how it is. Bring your head back up to center. Reach down and switch your feet. Whichever leg is in the front, push it to the back and bring that back leg out in front. One more time, folding over the legs. Inhale, hands overhead. Exhale, fold forward, hinge from the hips. Try to keep your spine really long as you go down. And once you find your edge, relax your head and neck and round up through the back. On your next inhale, walk your hands back, lifting up your chest. Make your way to hands and knees, tabletop, so that we can go through our cat and cow. Bring your wrists so that they come right below the shoulders, and the knees come right below the hips. Inhale, drop your belly down towards the ground, roll your shoulders back, and bring your gaze up or forward. Exhale, push your back up towards the ceiling, one vertebrae at a time, nice and slow. Head comes last, relax your head and neck down and bring the gaze through the knees. Keep moving with the breath, just like that. Inhale, drop the belly down, bring the gaze up. Exhale, rounding out through the back. Relax your head and neck down. Find your own rhythm. Try to stretch your motion out to match your breath. Taking your whole breath to complete each motion. Come back to a neutral spine on a breath in. Exhale to downward facing dog. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips up to the sky. You can move around a little bit here. In a nice comfortable down dog, adjust your hands and your feet. Bringing the hands and feet both about hip width distance apart, but you want to play with that and find your comfort zone. Bend one knee down and then the other, pedaling out the legs, getting the blood flowing through the legs and hips. Check in on your shoulders. Make sure the shoulders are sliding down the back towards the hips, out of the ears. We're going to flow from child's pose to cat-cow, and then to downward facing dog with the breath. On your next inhale, drop your knees down, coming back to hands and knees, tabletop. Exhale, push your hips back, coming into child's pose. Stay here for a full breath in and out. On your next breath in, come back up into hands and knees, tabletop. Exhale to downward facing dog. Again, stay for a full breath in and out. Inhale, back to hands and knees, tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's keep going like that 2 more times. Inhale up to hands and knees, tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, hands on knees, tabletop. And exhale into child's pose. Last time. Tabletop on a breath in. Down dog as you breathe out. Drop the knees down, breathing into your tabletop. And exhale into child's pose. Coming back up, we're going to stand this time. Inhale to your tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your right foot high. Take a deep breath in. Step the foot through between the hands as you breathe out. And drop the left knee down to the mat. Inhale, rising up to low lunge. You can always find your balance with your hands on your knees to start if you're feeling wobbly. And when you're ready, lift the hands up, turn the pinkies in, feel the shoulders sliding down the back. Take one more big breath in here. Exhale, release your hands down, framing the front foot. Bring your weight back onto your left leg. Come up onto that right heel and sit back onto your left leg. If you don't feel comfortable here, you can always slide a block underneath your right hip, raising up that hip a little bit. And start to fold forward over the right leg. You can grab onto that right foot, or you can just have your hands on either side of the leg. Relax your head and neck down in the front knee. You probably feel this in the back of that right leg pretty intensely. On your next inhale, lift your chest up. If you have a block underneath your right hip, just set it to the side. And then walk your hands forward. Lift up your chest. Slide that right heel forward, coming towards the forward splits. You don't have to get down very far at all. We're just reaching in that direction. You can find blocks on either side of your leg. That feels good at any height is fine. Or you can just plant your hands on either side of the leg, gently bend and straighten the front knee. Really nice and slow. This is exploring the range of motion. If you would like to go deeper into the pose, you can bend your elbows back and lower down your head and neck over your front leg. On your next breath in, lift your chest up. Slide or scoop the right heel back and set your right foot down on the mat. Tuck your left toes under. Left knee pops up. Look forward. Take a big breath in. Exhale, stepping the left foot up to the right. Forward fold. Take a half lift as you breathe in. Bring the torso parallel to the ground. Folding forward on your exhale. Relax the upper body down. Inhale, rising up to standing. Bend your knees. Roll your spine one vertebrae at a time. Nice and slow. Float your hands up overhead. Exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Side stretch. Inhale, hands high. Release your fingers, pointers up. Exhale, stretching down to the right. Back up to center, breathing in. And to the left as you breathe out. Inhale to center. Standing back bend on your exhale. Come straight back up, breathing in. Exhale, forward fold, hinge from the hips. Stay really strong in the legs, keeping the spine really long as you fold down. Half lift as you breathe in. Exhale, double dip, chaturanga. Plant your hands, hop or step your feet back to your high plank. Keep your knees up or drop them down to the mat. Exhale, lowering down halfway. Coming back up on a breath in. Halfway down again as you breathe out. Inhale to up dog or cobra. If your legs are all the way on the ground, keep a bend in the elbows. And exhale, downward facing dog. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips up. Let's do that on the left. Left heel comes up high. Take a deep breath in. Step the foot through between the hands as you breathe out and drop the right knee down to the mat. Rising up on an inhale, make your way to a low lunge. Remember, you can always drop the hands down to the knees if you feel wobbly here. And when you're ready, lift the hands up overhead. Turn the pinkies in to keep your shoulders sliding down the back. Take one more big breath in here. Exhale, release your hands down to the mat and bring your weight back onto the right leg. Lift your left toes up, sit back on that right leg. You can grab a block here again if you've got one and stick it underneath that left hip. And then start to lean forward over the left leg. You can hold onto the foot. You can just plant your hands on either side of the leg. Once you find your edge, round out through the back, relax your head and neck down. You don't have to get very far here. As you can see, I'm not folded all the way over with my head down to my leg. This is a pretty intense stretch. It might not seem like you're folded over very much at all. As long as you're feeling that stretch somewhere in your body, that's okay. That's where your edge is. On your next inhale, walk your hands back, lifting up your chest. Slide that block out. Sit up on that right knee and start to slide your left heel forward. Coming towards the forward splits. Remember, you don't have to get down very far at all. Here's another chance to use those blocks underneath your hands at any height. Or just plant your hands on either side of the leg. Gently bend and straighten the front knee. Really nice and slow. Remember that your body is not symmetrical. It looks like it, but it's not. So this leg might feel really different from the other side. I know mine does. If you want to go deeper, you can bend your elbows back and lower down the chest over the front leg. Lift your chest up on a breath in. Slide or scoot your left heel back and set your left foot down on the mat. Tuck your right toes under, right knee pops up. Look forward, take a deep breath in. Exhale, stepping the right foot up to the left, forward fold. Half lift as you breathe in, pull the shoulders down the back, opening up the chest. Fold forward on your exhale, relaxing the upper body down. Inhale to standing, bend your knees, stack your vertebrae one at a time, nice and slow, bringing the neck up, and then the arms come up overhead. Exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Side stretch to the left first. Inhale, hands high. Interlace your fingers, pointers up. Exhale, stretching down to the left. Back up to center, breathing in. And to the right as you breathe out. Inhale, coming to center. Standing back bend on your exhale. Cactus your arms or bring the hands to your back pockets. Straight back up to breathe in. Folding forward as you breathe out, hinging from the hips, leading with the chest. Nice and slow going down. Half lift to breathe in. Double dip chaturanga as you breathe out. Hop or step back to your high plank. Lower down halfway. Keep your elbows right next to the rib cage. Back up, breathing in. And halfway down again as you breathe out. Up dog or cobra on your breath. And if you come into up dog, the only thing that should be touching the ground is the tops of the feet and your palms. And exhale to downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up. One last sun salutation. Just going straight up and down this time, no side stretch. Bend your knees, look forward to your hands, take a deep breath in. Exhale, hop or step between the hands, forward fold. Half lift, breathing in. Folding forward on your breath out. Inhale, nice and slow, all the way up to standing. Float your hands up overhead. Exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Straight back down. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, diving forward, keeping the spine really long as you go down. Half lift to breathe in. Double dip chaturanga, breathing out. However you like it, knees up or down. Up dog or cobra. Big breath in, pull the chest through the shoulders. Exhale, roll over your toes. Downward facing dog. Lift your right foot high, take a deep breath in. Exhale, step your foot through between your hands and rise up on an inhale to warrior one. Back foot comes down at about a 45-degree angle. Front toes are pointing straight towards the short end of the mat. That back left hip, pull that hip forward while still making sure to keep that back pinky toe edge glued down to the mat. Front knee has a nice deep bend in it, should be right over that ankle. Hips are squared off towards the front, and bring your hands up, turn the pinkies in to keep the shoulders sliding down the back. Coming into humble warrior, take a deep breath in here. Exhale, sweep your hands back behind you. Interlace your fingers, push down, puff up the chest, take a big breath in. Fold forward on your exhale, keeping the spine really long. Once you find your edge, relax your head and neck down and peel the arms off the back. Push through your hands. Feel your shoulder blades sliding down the back towards the hips, out of the ears. On your next breath in, rise back up to warrior one. Exhale, opening out to warrior two. Pivot your back foot around and maybe widen the stance just a little bit. I always find that I want to bring my feet just a little farther apart from warrior one to warrior two. Feet are perpendicular now. Front heels intersecting the back heel or the back arch. Hands stretching forward and back. Peek back on the back hand. Make sure it's nice and high. And then bring the gaze over the front middle finger. Yoga jumping jacks, 5 of them with the breath. Inhale, knees straight, arms up overhead. Exhale, slowly sinking back down to warrior two. 4 more, just going at your own pace with your breath. You don't have to stay with me, I'm just counting so you know where I am. 3, feel every muscle moving together with control. 2, and last one. Coming into prasarita, wide-legged forward bend, straighten out the front knee. Drop your hands down to your hips and turn the right toes toward the long edge of the mat. Peek down at your feet, line up your pinky toe edges so they come parallel to each other. Pull your elbows towards each other behind your back, puff up your chest, take a big breath in. Exhale, fold forward, hinging from the hips. Nice and slow, keeping the spine really long as you go down. Once you find your edge, relax your head and neck and release your hands down to the ground. You can have a block here under your hands if that feels good. Start to crawl your fingertips forward. Stretching out through the back and the legs and the arms, but keeping those shoulder blades sliding down the back towards the hips, out of the ears. And now walk your hands through your feet, turning your fingertips around so they point in the opposite direction behind you. See how far out behind you can comfortably crawl those fingers. Listen to your body, find your edge. Walk your hands back to center. Bring both hands right underneath the face. Weight comes to both of your hands to bend your knees and pull your heels in towards each other. Inhale, rising up to starfish. Exhale, opening out to warrior two. Take a deep breath in here. As you breathe out, cartwheel the hands down to frame the front foot. Send your right heel high on a breath in. Double dip chaturanga, breathing out. You can keep your right foot up. You can also drop it down to the mat. Or drop your knees down if you like. Up, dog or cobra, drop the right foot down. Big breath in here. Exhale, rolling over your toes. Lift your hips up to downward facing dog. Left side, left heel comes high. Big breath in. Step the foot through between the hands as you breathe out and rise up on an inhale to warrior one. Back foot's down at about a 45-degree angle, making sure you're really rooting down through that back pinky toe edge. That's the part that's most likely going to start to peel up off the ground. And then pull your right hip forward. Now, if you notice that the right pinky toe edge starts peeling up off the mat while you're pulling the right hip forward, just push it back down. And you can let your right hip go back just enough to keep that whole right foot down on the ground. Check on your left knee, should be right over the ankle. Left toes pointing straight forward. And then inhale, lift your hands up. Turn the pinkies in. Humble warrior, take one more big breath in here. Exhale, sweep your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers, push down, puff up the chest. Deep breath in. Exhale, folding forward, hinging from the hips, leading with the chest. Nice and slow with control. Once you find your edge, relax your head and neck down and peel the arms off the back. Push through your hands. Keep your shoulders sliding down the back towards the hips, out of the ears. On your next inhale, rise back up to warrior one. Exhale, opening out, warrior two. Back foot pivots around, maybe widen the stance, sliding that back foot back a little bit, scooting the front foot forward. Feet are perpendicular, front toes pointing straight towards the short end of the mat, back toes pointing towards the long end of the mat. Peek on the back hand, bringing it nice and high. Bring the gaze right over the front middle finger. Make sure you're not leaning over the front leg. Side, inhale, knee straight, arms up. Exhale, slowly back down to warrior two. 4 more, going at the pace of your own breath. Try to stretch your breath out. Nice and long, lengthening the motions. 2. And last one. One more time into Prasarita, straighten out the front knee, draw hands to the hips, and turn the left toes toward the long edge of the mat. Peek down at your feet, bring your big toes ever so slightly turning inward to line up the pinky toe edges. Inhale, lifting your hands up overhead. Exhale, sweep the hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers just like humble warrior. Push down, puff up the chest. Take a deep breath in. Fold forward on your breath out, hinging from the hips. Keeping a nice long spine as you go down. Once you find your edge, relax your head and neck and peel the arms off the back. Push through the hands. Keep those shoulders out of the ears. Take one more big breath in here. Exhale, release your hands. Let your hands slide down your legs, coming to a stop wherever they feel comfortable. If you can reach all the way down to the feet, you can tuck your fingers underneath the pinky toe edges of the feet, and then bend your elbows out to the sides to bring your chest even closer into the legs, deepening that stretch on the back of the legs. Release your hands. Bring both hands right underneath the face. The weight comes to both of your hands to bend your knees and pull your heels in towards each other. Inhale, rising up to starfish. Exhale, opening out to warrior two. Take one more deep breath in here. As you breathe out, cartwheel the hands down, framing the front foot. Left heel goes high on a breath in. Double dip chaturanga, breathing out however you like it. If you're not feeling the chaturanga, you can also always skip that whole section. Up dog or cobra on a breath in. And downward facing dog as we breathe out. So the whole chaturanga, up dog, down dog. You can just skip that and meet a straighten down dog if you're feeling like that. Something you want to do. Let's take a little break here. Drop your knees down to the mat. Make your way to child's pose. Push your hips back to your heels. Relax your forehead down. You can have your arms stretched out in front of you. Wrap back towards the feet. Or you can also bring your hands to prayer hands right at the base of the neck. And then crawl your elbows forward. Get a nice stretch through the inside of the upper arms. Your hands are wrapped back towards your feet or behind your neck. Just bring them back and in front of you. And come into puppy pose. If your knees are together, open them just a tiny little bit. Crawl your fingertips forward, lifting the hips up. They can come right above the knees or just behind. Reach your chin or just down towards the mat. Feel a nice gentle back bend. Stretching the belly out here. On your next inhale, bring your hands back, lifting up your chest. Come to hands and knees, tabletop. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Lift your right heel high. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, step the foot through between the hands. Stay low. Gaze comes forward. Take a deep breath in and out. On your next breath in, lift your left knee high. Arms float up overhead. Exhale. Bring your hands to heart center. Cross your left ankle over your right knee. Making a figure four with your legs. And then start to sit low in your chair. If you ever feel super wobbly here, you can always take a regular chair pose, both feet on the ground. Maybe you can bring your upper arms to rest on that upper leg. Lower arms. Maybe you can even grab for your standing ankle, drop the gaze down to the floor if you feel wobbly. Keeping a low gaze always helps with balance. And release, let your fingertips come down to the ground and let your left leg slide down your right. Coming into a forward fold, left foot crossed in front of right. Relax your head and neck down. If you like here, you can have blocks underneath your hands. Some of my students really like that extra support so they feel like they don't have to come too deep into the fold. And start to crawl your fingertips all the way over to the left. Keep those blocks under your hands if you like. You can lift a heel up off the ground, bend your knees here. Whatever feels right. And now crawl your fingers all the way over to the right. Okay, I guess my microphone just died, so that's okay. Hips lean a bit to the left. You'll be a little bit quiet for the rest of class. Walk your hands back to center. Lift your right foot up and set it back down in its normal spot next to your left foot on the mat. Take a half lift, breathing in. Forward fold as you breathe out. Inhale, rising all the way up to standing. Bend your knees, roll your spine up, float your hands up overhead. Exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Tree pose. I'm going to mirror you guys for this one. So I'll be doing the opposite side. Bring all weight to your left foot. Right knee is pointing straight out to the side. You can keep your toes on the ground and have the sole of the foot on the ankle. Raise it up so your heel comes right underneath the knee. Or come all the way up on your thigh. Toes pointing straight down. Find your leg balance to start. And you can just work on the legs today, keeping your hands at your hips or at heart center. Or if you like, you can also include the arms. Inhale, lifting your hands up overhead. Take one last big breath in here. Exhale, release, shake it all out. Tree pose on the other side. Bring all weight to your right foot. Left knee is pointing straight out to the side. Same foot placement options, but if your body wants a different one on this side, that's okay. Keep the toes on the ground, sole of the foot on the ankle. Heel right underneath the knee in that little curve. We're all the way up on the thigh. Toes pointing straight down. Find your leg balance to start. Keep your hands on your hips. Bring your hands in front of the heart. Or inhale, lifting the hands up overhead. Take one last deep breath in here. Exhale, release, shake it all out. Let's come into ragdoll pose. Feet come hip-width distance apart on the mat. Inhale, lifting the hands high. Exhale, folding forward. Nice long spine going down. Relax your head and neck and grab for opposite elbows.
And then gently rock side to side, bend one knee and then the other. Get a little swaying motion going on. Imagine you feel all the kinks falling right out of your spine through the top of your head. Before we release our arms, just notice how your arms are crossed. So you can cross them the opposite way on the other side. Release your hands down to the ground. A weight comes to your hands to heel till your feet back together again. Half lift as you breathe in. Double dip chaturanga, breathing out. Up dog or cobra on a breath in. And downward facing dog on your exhale. Let's take a deep breath in. Exhale, step your foot through between your hands. Stay low. Gaze comes forward. Take a deep breath in and out. On your next inhale, lift your right knee high. Arms float up overhead. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Cross the right ankle over the left knee. Making a figure four with your legs. And start to sit low in your chair. Remember, you can always drop that right leg down to the ground, taking the full chair pose if you're feeling a little bit too wobbly. Maybe you can drop your arms down to the upper leg. And maybe grab onto your standing ankle, drop your gaze down to the floor to help with balance. And release, let your fingers come down to the ground, right leg slides down the left, coming into a forward fold, right foot crossed in front of left. You can always have a block here under your hands or one block under each of your hands. Relax your head and neck down, and then start to crawl your fingers all the way over to the right. Hips lean a bit to the left. My right heel wants to hop up off the ground here. My knees are bent. Either of those is fine. And now crawl your fingers all the way over to the left. Hips lean a bit to the right. Walk your hands back to center. Lift your left foot up and set it back down in its normal spot right next to the right foot. Take a half lift as you breathe in. Fold forward on your breath out. Inhale to standing, bend your knees, roll your spine, let your arms dangle down till your neck comes up, and then lift your hands up overhead. Exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Chair pose, we're just going to take a plain old chair pose today. Sitting in chair, we're going to try to hold it for about 5 breaths. If you feel like you want to come out sooner, that's okay. Inhale, lift your hands up. Exhale, sitting back down into your chair. Push your hips down and back. Pull the shoulders down the back. Wiggle your toes. Make sure most of the weight's in the heels. Feel the crown of the head stretching up towards the sky, lengthening the spine. And breathe. One last big breath in here. Exhale, release, fold forward, relax everything down. Take a half lift to breathe in. Exhale, release your hands down to the ground. Weight comes to the fingers to heel to the feet out wide, about hip width distance apart. Back into ragdoll pose, grab for opposite elbows. And then switch how your arms are crossed so they're crossed the opposite way. The first time we came in. Gently rock side to side, bending one knee down and then the other. Imagine you feel your spine water falling down towards the ground. Release your hands down to the ground. Weight comes to the fingers. To heel, toe your feet back together again. Take a half lift, breathe in. Exhale, plant your hands, hop or step back to your high plank. Double dip. Up dog or cobra, breathing in. Downward facing dog on your exhale. Drop your knees down to the mat. You're going to come into camel pose. Come to stand up on your knees. You can keep the tops of your feet touching the ground, or you can tuck your toes under, bringing the heels up just a little bit. This time we're going to windmill our arms around one at a time. Inhale, lifting your right hand up. Exhale, windmill it around, drop it down onto that back heel. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, windmill it around, dropping it onto the back heel. If that's enough, you can stay right there. And if that feels like it's too much, you can also just bring your hands to your back pockets. If you want to come in a little bit more, gently release your head back if that feels okay on the neck. On your next inhale, lift your chest up, untuck your toes, and sit back on your feet. That one can make us dizzy, so we just have to wait a couple of seconds after we come out. And make your way onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest, wrap your arms around your legs. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lifting your forehead up to your knees, curl into a little ball, squeeze everything together. Release your head back down to the mat, keeping your right knee up to your chest. Let your left leg slide back down to its spot on the mat. And then open out your right knee towards the right. Try to find about a 90-degree angle on the knee and the hip. Right fingertips can tuck inside the crease of the knee to help it stay down. Left arm comes out to the side. Bring the gaze over to the left hand. On your next inhale, lift your right knee up to center. Exhale, drop it across the body, crossing it over towards the left. Left fingers can tuck inside the crease of the knee to help it stay down. Right arm comes out to the side, bring the gaze over to the right hand. Release your left hand back out to the side. Bring your right knee back into your chest. Left knee comes to join it. Once again, wrap your arms around your legs. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, cannonball, lifting your forehead up. Curl into a tight little ball, squeezing everything together. Release your head back down to the mat. Let your right leg slide back down to its spot on the mat and open out the left knee towards the left. Try to find a 90-degree angle in the knee and the hip. Left fingers can tuck inside the crease of the knee to help it stay down. Bring your right hand out to the side and bring the gaze to the right hand. On your next breath in, lift your left knee up to center. Exhale, cross it over the body, dropping it down towards the right. Right fingers can tuck inside the crease of the knee. Bring your left hand out to the side. Bring the gaze over to the left hand. And release your right hand back out to the side. Bring your left knee back into the chest one last time. Right knee comes to join it. Wrap your arms around your legs. Take a big breath in. Exhale, curling into a tight little ball. Squeezing everything together. Release your head back down to the mat and make your way into Shavasana, our final resting posture. Any of the options we took at the beginning of class are fine. Just relax into your mat. Lift your chest up. Pull the shoulders down the back. Bring your chin into your chest and rock your head side to side. And just let it fall back to its natural center point. Hands can be by your sides, palms facing up or down, or you can bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly and feel your breath. Release your body. Let yourself melt into the ground. All the tension is flowing out of you. Release your breath, coming back to natural breathing. And release your mind, just watching your thoughts come and go, like clouds in the sky on a windy day. And a few moments of stillness to complete your practice today. Blink your eyes open. Start to make your way back up to a seat. Thank you so much for joining me today for yoga. Namaste.